Okay, welcome back everyone to the Crow Show. We are live right now if you want to tune in. That's pretty cool. And tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about what it means to be American. So we have with us myself, Infamous BC,
Yeah.
and Veras, and I'm the Zodiac. So
Well, VeracityTrigger here too, if
we're
he
all
wants to
Veras.
refer to himself in third person.
Yes.
Velocity trigger one, two, and three.
All right, great start to the show. so
Good shit. Good shit.
So
Um,
what do you guys think
so
about this?
so when I suggested this idea of like what it means to be an American, what was your first thought? Like, what was your first what did you think it meant? Like, what did you think? Not maybe not answer to the question, but like you just answer the question of the question.
Mm-hmm.
What did you
Um,
think?
well, I mean, personally, for me, I as soon as I think about that, I think about all current American events that are going on. I don't typically dwell on the past too much. Basically what I do is I look at things that are in our Constitution, things are doing right, things are possibly doing wrong, and this last thing about this memo, about everybody being upset or at arms about
Yeah,
this
I
thing
didn't even
being
get to read
released.
that.
I heard some stuff about it. I was watching Stefan Molyneux talk about it. I was watching some other people talk about it, and it seems as if the FBI was trying to be on a bias towards the Clinton campaign, and trying to remember more about the. I mean, basically, I was able to download the documents from this other person that put out the memo, so everybody could see it. But it seems like there was a bit of a bias as far as trying to make sure Trump didn't get in office way back when. And so the documents and what they're talking about, it seems kind of sketchy. And then I was like, is this really bad? Because you've got the CNN, the people on CNN saying, well, this is top secret stuff. Nobody should know about this stuff. But then I look at, and I wonder, like, does this go against our Bill of Rights? I mean, do we have the right to see this kind of stuff? And the first Bill of Right, or the first, you know, Bill of Right from the Constitution says that, we shouldn't be barred from knowing something that, would be. I could read it for you, but I mean, it just I
I
wonder.
I
I
understand,
kind
Yeah.
of I kind of
or
wonder
just
if
the
if
basic
it's
question.
really illegal or if the FBI is trying to keep information from the American public or the press. Maybe we have a right to this kind of stuff. Maybe um, our rights have been infringed. It's kind of been a question of mine because I don't follow politics as much as I probably should.
Well, I just feel like if you're a politician, you should learn how to accept whoever is the chain of command. I'm not saying you can't have your own, beliefs and voting system, but like all this arguing and stuff just looks so childish. It's just setting such a
Yeah.
bad example for our future to see how people handle issues
Exactly, and that's
so
And
as important as
sadly,
leading our
that's
country.
basically what being an American means to most people these days. Whoever can yell the loudest.
Yeah, I mean it's sad,
uh,
it's sad,
it kind of
and
makes
that's
me like from what I heard and what I saw, it kind of makes me upset because I mean you're right. It sounds like we're just a bunch of children now that aren't trying
well.
to um, make sure there's type
Can
of
I
law
can I
and
say
order. We
some?
don't.
Can I say something? We all in this like complaining level, and I think we're all guilty of it. I mean, I'm guilty of it as we speak,
Oh
or as
sure,
I speak.
yeah,
But we all complain about everything, every little possible thing that can go wrong in every situation. I mean, I get it that some people just saying and say, "Oh, I'm just talking about it," but it's like if you're allowing stress to like it's life, like things break, like things like you stub your toe and you can get so angry, like how can I not see where I'm walking still? Like you just get so angry at certain things and it's devouring us. I mean, we get angry at what other people are doing, and it's getting like uncontrollable. It's like becoming a mushi. I don't know if you ever seen that
Everybody
anime.
believes in free speech until they don't agree with that person just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it makes me kind of worry because the way the memo is worded, I almost wonder if the FBI is infringing our first right of the Bill of Rights, with sort of helping somebody, move into power. And it almost it actually gave me the thought that, Hillary Clinton shouldn't be able to run. I don't think anybody that has had a family in the office of the Oval Office should ever have a spouse or a child or any of that like be able to be in there again, because to me it
I
starts to
don't,
look like a regime. It starts to look like
I
there was
don't,
already 8 years of Bill Clinton. She was married to him. She was in bed with him. She was in the White House. She had access to this kind of information as well. You're putting the same family in there again. It's like with the Bushes, you had them in there for a very long time, and it just makes me wonder: like, are people?
look how that turned out.
I mean,
Right.
are people really? Is it come down because in the beginning, a lot of people had a
We're
problem
running
with
out of
this Bill of
time,
Rights
son.
because they didn't want the federal government to have too much control. They didn't want to have the president sort of turn into a monarch
Right.
style
Which is
dictatorship.
essentially
Well, well,
where
look at the
most of them go.
Roosevelts. You know,
Yeah, and they didn't want to have that. And now what we have are people that are of the same family
you
having the
had Teddy
possibility to,
Roosevelt
to
for
get
eight
in.
years, and then
Well,
you had Franklin Roosevelt for 12 years or 13 or something like that. Like it got very, and then and he's the one, or either him
and it
or
makes me
at
that
that point in time they put that cap of 8 years.
and
But
that just makes me nervous about this whole thing because you already had Bill Clinton for 8 years, and then you get Hillary in there for another 8 years or 4 years. It's basically 16 years for the Clinton family, and then if Chelsea's of age and she's old enough, then it's like we have this. It almost feels like it's turning into a feudalist bloodline of people that have to get back into the presidency, and almost it's like we're having a monarchy in a sense, and that kind of.
I feel like it's a little bit of a stretch. Like I see where you're going, but
yeah, I know, and that's the point of it. Is I mean, that's saying like you're taking, but that's what I say about campaigns in general. I don't understand why we have put all this money in campaigns and all that. I mean, YouTube, you can broadcast yourself, or the government should be allowing broadcasting. The government should just, if you're the candidate, you should be able to know anything. It should be organized.
Mhm.
It should be organized.
yeah.
Certain, every single issue that gets ranked up from the people what they want to hear and discuss. Every candidate who wants to run should talk about it, and
Mhm.
then we all vote. It shouldn't be like decided from these debates. Who's making the questions? I get that they're good questions a lot of times, but you know what I mean? Like you can think that it can be manipulated because there might be that one question that you want to hear and it doesn't ever get said, and they can say, well, you can earn that power of position and start making the questions. I guess I could, but
I still don't
it's
think just any politician should be able to get in. I think you should have some sort of mandated military service in order to be the
I,
president. I mean, it's a military position.
Yeah, it
I,
kind of is, but I think the reason they didn't want to do that was because then they thought if they have a military leader, then he'll think more of wanting to war more. And I can see the argument for that, but coming in as a civilian, because the thing is like, you know, a civilian taking a job where you have control of the military, it's like instantaneous control of a military aspect
well,
of life when you
Yeah,
never
think
that's
even
about
not
this
allowed.
knew
though.
anything about it.
Think about
So,
this though. In history, almost I feel like almost every president we had that was in the military was probably a better president. At least a lot of them. I'd have to really research it, but off the
mhm.
top of your head, I mean, you had Eisenhower. He was a good president. You had,
Yeah, I
you
would
know,
say that's not
going
a
down the line,
that
George
that's
Washington, the whole group in the beginning. John Adams. I don't think he was in the military, and he's not really known as a great president. Then you have all these people who made a lot of money. You know,
mhm.
and they, rich presidents. None of them were really in the military, and none of them are known for being that great.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
I,
it's kind of something
That's what I'm
interesting to think
saying. Like,
about because it's
well,
discipline. It's
I just don't feel like
you
you
know.
should be in charge of the entire nation's military if you've never been in.
Well, it's almost like
That's just my thinking.
like
no, you make it makes a
people
lot of
like Trump.
sense. You'd have
People
no
like Trump
experience
was
with
like
it.
born on top. he was born on top. Like
Yeah.
he's never experienced. Like, you go into the military, you're on the bottom. Like, you got to work your way up. Like,
Like, I
and
don't
so,
think Trump even visited a bad neighborhood until he was on his campaign trail.
well, his
Yeah, it could
hotels
be.
and casinos.
You never had to. But yeah, it's like if you give a kid with a temper tantrum all the power in the world to do whatever they
Yeah,
want
so
to do.
in short, I
So,
really don't know what it means to be an American anymore.
I mean, I think the fact is like a lot of us as we age, we're getting older, we're overlooking these, and even if that's not accurate, like the FBI does have the power to do what they want to do, however they want to do it in secrecy, and I'm not right about that. I think the fact is it sort of wakes me up to the idea that we're getting older and we're not looking at our rights. We're just kind of playing the game. We're just entertaining ourselves all day, and we're doing our jobs and coming home, and whatever happens at the top.
We're a chess set, and we accept that we're pawns, and we're
And
just going to do a pawn's job, and we're
but
not going
that's
to.
not what the Constitution was designed for. It was designed for us to be able to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government.
Yeah,
Also,
but
you
not
know.
everybody wants to be like
But it
really
says
high
in there,
ranked,
like,
all the head in their shoulders.
if you
And
come
some people
with
don't know what they're talking about.
oh yeah, but I mean, I kind of feel like just letting ourselves be overrun, and it's kind of scary in a sense that, I mean, you'll see
I
some
agree.
other.
We have definitely given our government too much power.
Yeah, and it's not like, the thing is, you can't really do like a full military revolution because, for one, that's bad. Or two, there'll be a lot of deaths. We've already had a civil war before. The only thing you can really do is your vocal, uh, protest, and you have to have it be a good organization, good logical organization to,
So go
change
stand in
things.
traffic then. That's what you mean, right?
No, no.
That's what we should do, right? We should just go stand in traffic. That's how we protest.
No, that is definitely not the way to do it. There's been a lot of protests lately that are just insane, over the top, and that
Yeah, like we go block traffic in a city that has nothing to do with what we're protesting, right?
yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. The peaceful organization, actually, it says that in our Bill of Rights. You can have a peaceful organization, and that's what you can have. But lately, what we've been seeing is just pure insanity. So the people that are trying to do something are kind of idiots in the
Damn
sense
kids
of
these days, they don't even
how
know how to protest.
how they do things. I mean, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. Like, you can't.
I've only ever rioted after like a game or something. Let's just do that then. Okay. Should we flip this car in our protest? Yeah, I think that's what you do in protests. Like, okay.
Are people really becoming that less
Should,
intelligent that they don't
should we
think
collect these
about?
signatures? That's a lot of work. Let's just make a group and people can pretty much see it.
Yeah, I mean, we can make that. We can do that on Facebook.
Oh man, it feels like
You can make,
intelligence
like,
is almost lost on
What
us in a
one
sense.
like equals one protest.
Do you know what I'm saying? though? It's like we've regressed as
If
far
you
as
get you get 100,000 likes on Facebook, I'm pretty sure the government's going to do something about it. No, because the government is worried about their own conquests and stuff. That's what we're finding out. You think any of them? That's what I'm saying. It's just a whole nother job where people are trying to make money, and it's basically commission. That's how I see it. Those people, they don't care. They're you
I'm just saying. I think everybody's doing everything the wrong way, and nobody wants to lead in a good way. Everybody
I
wants to
think
lead in the wrong way, and they're excited to do it. They're happy with it because
I think past the mayor, like, people would stop caring. Like, your representatives and senators, like, none of
I
them
don't
care
even know
about
who those people are.
none of them care about you.
man, we've
The
gone.
general public is just incredibly uneducated, for the most part, about politics at all. Like I don't know a lot myself.
Well,
I'm I'm not saying that I
And,
know
and
much
and
more.
you know why? I mean, that comes back down to how we've talked about it before, the education system. It's because it's not even really taught to you. We'll spend a couple weeks learning every president's name, and that's great. But like, that's it. We don't like. Why don't you actually teach each like? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, we just they taught us so many random stupid things, and would put that on your test in school. How
Well,
I
I remember
remember it.
having
I
like
had to
1 week
memorize what when the
of
president was each, what years he had it, you know, but like not what he was known for.
Yeah.
Thanks.
yeah, it makes sense. I had
Why,
like one
why do you
week in school.
why do you think why do you think so many people our age group got fascinated and or created YouTube and all these like websites where you can get knowledge because we weren't learning about it in school. But then something
Exactly.
happened. Then something
Exactly.
happened. People started making fake crap all over the internet, and now we don't know what you can believe and what you can't believe. And
Oh,
now
I know, right?
you
You
keep
got to
getting
verify
these
every source. Like,
you keep getting all these things on the internet about like the most basic stuff, and you're like, it, did they make this because they weren't sure other people didn't know this most basic thing, or were they just trying to remind them? Like, what
No,
do
no,
we
you're
need
right.
this? Like what
You're
is
right, dude. Because I'm thinking
and
that's the case. We created YouTube because we had a thirst for knowledge that wasn't being met by the schools. They weren't teaching us the things.
well,
And
I
you
don't
could,
think that's
I
where
mean,
YouTube
you
came.
could say it was also for entertainment too. But I mean, you got Facebook for that. Um, but it seems like there's a lot of things on Facebook that you could look up the Bill of Rights
I
on.
would say the history of YouTube is more bullshit than it is education.
purposeful? Well, I'm saying it doesn't matter what the original reason it got invented for, but what it became is you can be like, how do you do this? And 9 times out of 10, there's a YouTube video. Except
I
for
mean,
some,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
except for
that's
levels
definitely
of
been
college.
popular within the past
Once you get to college level things, it's not so,
6 years, 7 years.
popular, but it's so back to the main original thing is like what it means to be an American. Well, I feel like you have to be a citizen to be an American. It's and that gets into a whole nother side of things on being an American versus just living in America.
Hmm.
And
right.
I don't necessarily know where I'm going with all of it, but
Well, I think I
like
understand because when our ancestors came over so long ago, it depends on your family lineage and all that, but they came over, they wanted to live a part of the American life. It was at the time that well, at least for
well,
my
I'll
family, it was
I'll
at the
tell you.
time when they were starting to make the laws for America, and but for my family, they just cleared out, um, or
Was
they settled some town in Wisconsin, and I'm like, oh, so, you know, I've been here for some long, for some time, but
was America invented so we can work hard and play hard? Like the song, I don't know who sang that song, but like I don't know. I just feel
I
like
think it was
everybody in
created. I mean, you look at the Bill of Rights and you look at the original Bill of Rights. It seems to make a lot of sense. It was made for our ability to have our own religions, to be able to be free, to say what we want, to look at the government and say, "Hey, I think you're doing something
I
wrong
think
here."
I think
Um,
when you don't have much,
to be
it's
able
easy
to
to create it.
have the ability to bear arms, personal militia needed to use to defend ourselves at the time that we need to use that. Personal rights. Basically, I think the whole purpose of it was that we were sort of being treated as, I don't know, we weren't being
Property,
treated well,
basically.
properly, yeah. And so the people that came here wanted to change things and make things as best as possible for everybody without a kingship, without a king,
Yeah,
without.
and that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people want to complain about the government, but I just feel like it's in general. People just aren't working as hard. Like I said, when this country was being built, like people were out physically working everywhere. And I'm not saying not everybody's doing it now, and I'm not just saying unemployment, but I really feel like everybody, all these safety regulations that are getting put on us now, like Hank Hill once said, "I remember when Made in America used to stand for something like, or it was like a trademark. Like it was a
Like
good,
really meant something.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
because we did things for our own country that helped us grow. Because if you trade locally, um, I don't know, it just makes more jobs for more people because there's more things to do. Because if
yeah.
I
But
can,
I feel like y- isn't a samurai a person who you know doesn't necessarily be really good with the sword, but they just devote their life towards something. And like I feel like that's like our problem is, it doesn't matter if you're a trash
Not enough
man,
samurais.
huh?
We don't have enough samurais.
Yeah, we don't.
we-
I'm saying, it, you know, but it's sad though because like
America is severely lacking in samurai.
for the longest time, yeah, but it is. People just get upset and they complain, but they don't organize and orchestrate. They just get upset and complain, and then eventually some creative hashtag now comes out. That's it. Like, it doesn't even mean anything. It's just now you have a group of people. They probably have interests because they have that interest and whatever thing they're complaining about. They probably have other interests, and it's just a good way to meet people. Hey, I don't like that either. And it's like it's weird now. It's
you
not.
know American if you don't samurai.
No, it's. I'm just saying that we need to get back into our workforce. We need to get back into everybody going to work every day, working hard, creating beauty, creating strong products, selling them to other countries, being American. But I feel like nowadays America is all like, get done work so I can go home and play video games or do whatever I'm going to do and,
That's my
listen to
goal.
music, go out clubbing, drink alcohol, like, that's to me, that's not what a real American is. America we built this country later than everybody and progressed past everybody. you know like come on, people, like don't stop the ball rolling. Now we're all just like enjoying it
Well, I don't know if we
and
come on
and
people.
and, and allowing it. Well, yeah, but I'm saying, and we
Well,
allow it. We watch our streets crumble and we just allow it now. And it's not like we're the only country doing this, but
No,
you
but
want American pride, you call American pride, like, let me see it. If I walk outside and I see shit everywhere, I'm gonna go and think American shit. If I go out and see a beautiful, but here's the sad truth. Look, my trash company just recently, they we used to have two trash guys pick up the trash every Thursday. Now we have one trash guy. They gave us all nice trash cans, but it's only one trash guy. I would have revoked this if I would have known you were going to fire some guy's job for my trash can. Like, I feel so bad now. Like, now one guy does it and it's all automated and the machine, the trash thing just lifts it up and dumps it in. Like,
you
it's
made
nice.
that one guy's job so much easier.
You made that one, yeah, it made that one guy's job so much easier. You probably laid off that other guy, and for what?
Well, they didn't need him. Progress.
You did need him. You don't need him. No, that's what I'm.
progress
That's
is
what I'm
what
trying to say.
kills us.
Progress. You don't need to robotize everything. You don't need to turn everything into a robot when you have humans. You
Yeah,
just
but the thing is,
hire humans and you keep lowering the cost in your own country for products so we can buy things for cheap. So a low income is still a steady, nice income because you don't need but the problem is everybody wants things from other countries that are $700, $800, $900.
Right.
yeah, but the thing
We're
is,
getting there.
when you get into progress, dude, you're basically making a machine that replaces the man. It might cost a lot, but in the long run, it doesn't cost as much as paying somebody to do the job. And that's where the mechanical engineering progress, that's what it's going to do to us. Eventually, I don't know who's going to have a job. I'm not sure. I mean, the way technology is going, how do you
Engineers,
how do you
mechanical
stop it?
engineers.
How do you stop it? How do you change? How are we going to adapt? Are we all just going to be drawing on the computer to design machines, or is that going to do it for us? I mean, are we going to be like some of those movies where we're just sitting on a couch, watching
Well,
TV all day and we don't have to do anything?
you
That
start creating a few worker robots that can work faster and better and healthier than everybody else. But like I said, like we're beautiful machinery, dude. We can we're lubricated and all that. You don't really need to
Yeah, we
charge
are.
us into a battery for 8 hours. We're good to go. For 16, like we're pretty good machines, I feel like. So I don't understand why like we're being replaced. It's like, oh, it's mostly because we create human errors. We create these mistakes, but
I I feel like it's kind of comical. Our own
machines do too.
inventions,
Machines
our
throw like screws and stuff all the time into things.
our progress is what's going to end up, you know, making us obsolete.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
it's
why I don't like
it's
AI. It never works out well in the movies.
Well,
yeah, that's a hard part
oh,
though, because where do you draw the line? Somebody has to draw a line somewhere. It's almost like we'd have to put it into our Bill of Rights. Uh, we cannot create AI to
I
take
would
over
just
us or
be,
something
I
like that.
would,
We
I
gotta.
would just be super upset if we created not necessarily AI, but helper robots, and basically we start having robots make everything, do everything, and
But this
we're
is
all
what I
just
talked to
becoming
you about,
fat
BC.
slobs. Like everywhere you
BC,
go, like it's just fat slobs, just
that's
fat
what I
people.
that's what I talked to you about a long
Like,
time ago. Like the utopian society would end up being something like the people over 20, 30 would be in charge of the machines, and then people above that, or maintenance, I mean, and then the people above that would be in charge of those people for about 10 years, and then you never work again, and the
nah,
government just
bro,
gives you a paycheck.
you would
And
just make machines that fix machines, and within
yeah,
50 years, that
exactly.
technology would be gone.
And then,
And people wouldn't know how to fix it because the few people that wouldn't care anymore until it eventually just comes down to a few people, and their kids are like, I don't want to do this. The machines just they do everything for me. They're fine. And then as soon as it
God,
forgets, the machines all their eyes start turning red as soon as like the last one dies that actually knew how to fix them. And it's just an on off switch downstairs in the basement. The kids can't figure it out because they don't know what to do.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, could our progress with machines could literally change what it means to be an American in a sense, because what we started with, we ended up not
well,
having
we'd
to
have
do
to
anything.
import the bulk of them anyway. So
I mean,
Come on.
well, Trigger, you remember the other day we were
thought that was a
talking
fair
about
assessment.
remember the other day we were talking about that AI, where I said basically an AI already exists. It got created a long time ago, some computer program, and all it's doing now is just keeping quiet, learning all of our technology. It's just scouring the universe. It uses things like
It's
that
called
Tesla.
Skynet.
Yeah, but it's not Skynet. It's smarter than Skynet. You're
Oh my
thinking
gosh, that's even worse.
you're thinking too small in Skynet, dude. This thing has researched everything. It literally just floats around in our air because it goes through the electrical currents. It knows how to do all that now. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
in Wi-Fi.
it could hack. It could, yeah, it's in
No,
radio
but
signals.
you
It
you
could hack
remember
drones.
the Navy was researching how to stop the singularity, and they're hiring gamers
Yep.
to play against that, and it was a real thing. I was like,
Did
oh,
you
okay.
have you have you heard about these mini bomb drones that you can program them on exact people and or other people and just let them loose and they fly right into the target's head? These little tiny bombs, that drones. It's getting crazy. You hear about Russia's like nuclear sub basically down? It's like I don't know, 100 megatons or something.
I don't know. We
It's
probably have the
getting.
same
It's
stuff though,
get.
man. We probably have the same stuff or possibly
We
better. I
we
mean,
probably
Probably.
do, and or possibly better. But imagine if like somebody hijacked that and just drove it down the Mariana Trench. Like you could possibly like crack our Earth in half. You don't even know what we were capable of anymore.
hmm
You
that's
know
a
what I
sad
mean? Like,
fact too. That's a sad fact because there's all this like, oh, he went outer space, he put a car up there, and he's it's sort of like a bragging like, ha ha, look what I can do. Um, with Elon Musk doing that, it's like, dude, I could have used that car. Zodiac just mentioned earlier he wanted
Right.
that car. Why are we not driving that car? Why is outer space driving that car with a dummy in it? I got to know this.
well, it's his,
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
He
his
can do what
car. I
he
mean,
can do what he wants with it.
I know
Well, that's
that.
like, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You ever hear this one joke Steve Harvey made about how him and his boys used to go down in this one room and they'd smoke these cigars, and there was like a no smoking thing, right? So what they did is they would just pay the fine and smoke anyway. And
Yeah.
like even the one fire chief came over one time and he's like, you can't do that. He's like, no, we paid the fine. It's okay. And they're like, no, it doesn't mean you can smoke. And he's like, looks at him and he's like, you know what? Just finish your cigar. Like we paid
the fine.
We paid the
cool.
fine. We're allowed to now. Like, is that how it's becoming? I mean, like I always hated those. Don't drink and drive. You can't afford it. Some people can.
Yeah, what if I
Like-
can? You don't know me.
Like if you can, so it's cool. Because I mean, like a lot of them celebrities did, and they're always the dumb ones that get into accidents and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, lots of people get in accidents.
Yeah, I don't think that's just celebrities. But they just get away with it when they do.
It's because the paparazzi's always like trying to make them crash.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, but what about fireworks? What about celebrations, things like that? I mean, should we have it be like the 4th of July, like everybody gets off for a lot of these national holidays? How do you guys feel about that? Like everybody gets to get off except for unless you're a doctor or a police officer or something like that.
I generally have to work holidays.
I don't have to always work holidays. I think that goes into the field you choose to be in. You know, and again, if you're a doctor and
I
you're
feel like it's
saying,
just part of being an adult is dealing with something like that.
yeah, if you're a doctor and you're like, oh, I don't want to work holidays, I'm gonna probably be like, I don't think you're the right doctor for me.
Right? Then
Yeah.
you should be a podiatrist or something.
Or a veterinarian.
Do you like feet? Well, that's where you're going.
Feet and butts, buddy.
Yeah, those can wait till after the holidays.
Exactly. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to stare down a butthole on Christmas.
Not too
Well, I
many.
mean, like,
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
don't
like,
wanna-
look at golf courses. You know, they
I
tend
don't
to
want to
not get off
disparage
on a lot of
anybody from
holidays.
celebrating Christmas how they like to,
Yeah, well, no.
because that would be un-American.
Yeah, I know. I think the fact is like it's we have all these rights and we need to keep them. And there's times where like even this memo, even if, you know, it doesn't apply, it just makes me somewhat cautious, somewhat cautious about it because it makes me think maybe some people are trying to get away with things in a very sneaky manner and we're not seeing it, we're not paying attention to it. You know, it's almost like we have to somewhat be on guard. We have to, watch the times and be on guard. There could be some people that try to get away with things, and they could try to change our rights in a sense because somebody else will say, well, they did it beforehand, and nobody said anything about it, so we can do this same thing too. And I think that's the thing that I keep thinking about, but
Well, I'll tell you what though. I really think that, last year we had all this talk about racism everywhere and
That's
it's
still
amazing. It's I guess I don't have Facebook, but when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, you know what I saw? I saw lots of different races walking down those streets with something in common. If you can have that one thing in common, can't you think that you might have a few more other things in common? And, it might just get to the point where, like, you're all American, and that's the most important thing. Like, you're all American.
yeah.
Wherever your heritage is from, you're American now, and you need to accept that. You don't need to, if somebody says, what are you? I think that's the stupidest question. What am I can be so many different things. And it's an ignorant question to say, what are you?
It really is.
And that's the thing. Some people just aren't educated too. You can't get so
Unless
mad
that
when
person
people's
just does, like,
questions.
something superhuman.
What are you?
Yeah. Like they just
Superman.
lifted a car off a baby or something.
Like,
Dude, what are you?
what's that? What's that TV show? I forget it now. With the chick and all the dirty kids.
Yeah, I think what are you? is
Stranger
the only-
Things.
The only
Yeah.
question that I think the only person I know of that's probably been asked that was Jesus.
And then the next question to follow is when they don't when you say I don't. What do you mean? What am I? Well, where are you from?
Like Philly,
That
bitch.
that question gets a little bit sketchy too, because it's like me personally, or like
Like, no, you're
what,
people.
yeah, your people.
That's when
So,
it gets interesting.
The problem is that we've had a lot of change, a lot of massive changes in our, American history, and a lot of them have been for the better, but some, will want to go back to the past and let's say, well, this happened at this time, and this happened at that time, and that was terrible, and it was because of these people, and because of that. I'm like, yeah, but that's in the past. I mean,
okay,
some of that still might, pop its head up every once in a while. It's good to squash it when it happens, but to dwell on something too long, it's almost like you have this. It's like a wound that's been stitched, and you just cut it open and let it start bleeding out again. It's like if you can heal it, let it heal. It's like don't. I mean, unless there's some serious thing happening, like there's no need to go and reopen an old wound. I don't know. It just to me it seems like that. Like we've come very far. I mean, there's still other
well,
countries out there that are not up to our standards. I mean, if you try to compare us to a lot of other countries, some countries are not at our level yet of
Oh, I know.
yeah, I know.
acceptance. And a lot of people don't even know this, and it boggles my mind, like the amount.
It's
But
I
mind-boggling.
think I think that's what America really is now. People come here for opportunity and acceptance. And when you get born in this country and you feel like you're still not accepted, and you feel like, I'm an American and I'm not accepted by anyone, you get really depressed by that. And eventually people start raging out. But
yeah,
it's
you're always going to have some asshats here every once in a while
you
doing
always
some
will. I
dirty
mean,
things and
sometimes it's funny, and that's another thing too. When I was a kid, some kids would make fun of me. I used to take it so much to heart. And looking back, like, I think even one of them tried to explain to me at one point in time, like he was just joking, and I still didn't believe him. But it's like, some people just, they don't really have good people skills. You don't have to become their best friend, but you don't have to take what they say super personally, or
Right.
so to the point where they're not even focused on you. Like, don't focus on them. Just that's who they are. Like, let them live their own life. Chances are, if they're so much different than you are, you probably won't be meeting them at other locations except for maybe grocery stores or something. Like, you're not doing the same thing as them, probably.
hmm I think the fact is we started up with a lot of intentions to accept a lot of people into the country. We the way it seemed as if we were trying to accept a lot of people. We were trying to push away the monarchy of of England at the time. We were trying to push that monarchy
Yep.
away. Give taxes to some guy across the sea. We don't even know. It's like, why the hell are we doing this? This is stupid. Get these militiamen out of our house, because a part of that in the Constitution is
Well, now
militiamen should not be able to stay in your house for any random
you're
reason.
you're referring to when we started as a country, not just when we left England, right?
Well,
Like,
when we
'cause-
started the Constitution, we revolted against England, and we wanted to have our own thing, that had nothing to do with monarchy, and that's the reason why we started the presidency ended up happening, and it's just like my fear of us having another monarchy, and having people in the office for too long. That's the reason why, they put the limit down to the 8 years. But it almost seems like in a
right.
sneaky way, we got the Bush family, we got the Clinton family. It's like, come on, we
Well,
got to
you
start
definitely
setting
don't want
some
a president.
standards.
The nice thing about Trump, regardless to all things else, is you don't want a president who's not a leader. Sometimes with Obama, I would get scared that he was just listening to Clinton still. Like he was brainwashed by a lot of people. I think he let a lot of things kind of go willy nilly because he wanted to remain like, hey, I'm a cool president. I know this is how it goes down. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
I
You
think
know,
I think he almost had to be
Maybe
in
we're,
a sense
we're
because
starting
he
to go a
was
little long.
Don't say it.
I don't know. I don't know, but in a sense maybe, but the thing is, like, it was kind of a revolution for us in a sense. The
Yeah,
first black president. It was
it's
like
true though.
really
If you would have
exciting
been
to finally have
persecuted,
something
if
that was
if
like super revolutionary. And I think just because of that, the next time, a new president would be like, oh, a woman president now. Well, we can have that. I mean, and everybody, I think the fact is people went to such an extreme. We're like, oh, there's all these revolutionary things happening with, race and sex and things like that. We should really push for that. But they didn't. I don't think they really looked at her character as much as just the fact of the sex, of it being another gender. And I think the fact is, us as a human species never
you
want
know,
to disappoint our women, and when that was
it's like
denied,
it's like you
it
said.
was kind of like, uh
It's just
oh.
too long in office. It's just too long in that White House.
But yeah,
You
it
don't
wasn't
you
it wasn't
don't
just that
live
too.
there.
Like it was a nervous thing because she already was in the White House. I mean, she was already, in bed with the president. So whatever he knew, she probably had a good idea if she didn't know herself. And it's like you can't unless they put the president in the White House and they put the wife and the children in a different area all the time, and they're never together until after the presidency. That they're in bed together. They know everything that's going
Yes,
on.
I know. I get it.
So that's my thing. But like I
Did
think to be
did people
patriotic,
did people make up the term the Trump card based off of Donald Trump?
no, that the
No.
Trump card was a long. That's been for. The funny thing is, I was wondering when people are going to pick up on that because it's been like an old poker term.
What I always thought that was interesting. Like it's it's almost like that fate type thing. Like, we were going down that line with this regime, as you were saying.
Caca.
Yeah, but yeah, I see what you're saying though. But I think like being patriotic, I think it just, for me personally, I think it stands for the fact as we have to be kind of vigilant as to what's going on. We have to actually look at what realistically is going on instead of what announcers want to show to us. Because every time there's any kind of announcement on television for any kind of broadcast system you watch, it's always super exciting. It seems like they know everything when they might just have a small piece of the information. It's like you kind of have to research some of this stuff yourself to get a good
Yeah.
understanding of it. And I think a lot of people just want to be entertained than they want to research. And it seems like we're going down a bad road with that.
So so basically, it's if what
We
does it
turn
mean
the
to
nightly news into entertainment.
what does it mean to be an American? Well, it's up to the current Americans what it means to be an American. If you want to just be unemployed and hope that robots will take care of us eventually, well, then that's what Americans will be known for. If you want to be hardworking people and full of culture and moving past, these hate issues and all these problems that we have, well, then that's what America will be known for. We're at a turning point in our whole planet on humankind and human nature. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be good for America to stay on top of that and show the rest of the world, like, hey, we're not dumb, lazy people. We're doing something. We're changing the world for the better. We're finding new ways to for people.
And
I
I
mean, what
agree
if you,
that is something that we should be doing.
I mean, what if you find that the way to cure cancer is actually within other people? You have to find certain other people that I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't want to talk about. It's a stretch.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zodiac. I kind of dominated some of the conversation. What you want to say?
No, I got my licks in.
Well, so next week's episode, are we still really in about talking about what, just like music appreciation? Or are we talking about backmasking songs? Certain backwards songs that
I'm sure we can work that into. I
you
would
know.
I would like to do the music appreciation thing. Definitely,
What, just talk about our favorite groups of people that we liked, or
Oh, we could talk
like I
about
said,
anything
I
music.
think we should find like some sort of like that one song. Everybody has that one song.
Yeah, we'll do that
then
too. We'll do
Send
that
that
too.
to each other, and we'll each listen to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be a good thing.
Or
Okay.
how you
Like
listen to music
that one
now.
thing that's really hitting you right now.
So we'll just do a broad thing about music in general.
Yeah,
Okay,
pretty
so
much.
Pop music. And,
so your favorite song at the moment, or your favorite song overall?
Either or.
Okay, that could work.
just keep it in within like 45 minutes to an hour.
Well, we don't have to play the song during the show.
No, we can't do
We
that.
can put links to it in the description.
Because you know whose songs I always like? Disney. I mean, those people make some really good songs.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, man, that's my jam.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of like The Lion King, Hakuna Matata, stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, The Circle of Life.
Hakuna Matata.
It just hit me. That'd be a great alarm ringtone.
Masiwanya. I don't know, wake you up. That's
And
funny.
you're just gonna wake up, throw your arms above your head, like yes, hit it.
I don't even want to hit snooze because I want to hear this song.
You're right. It's my jam.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna make
All
that
right, so-
happen. Yeah, make that happen tonight.
Do it.
Okay, so I guess next week is music related stuff.
Yeah, music appreciation night. I don't
Music
know.
appreciation night. Okay, I'll title it like that then.
And backwards songs being creepy. Just throwing that in
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's always gonna be creepy.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I guess I'll do my spiel.
Sure.
Fucking the Twitters, Adam the Zodiac, or just search the Crow Show. You'll find us that way. I sporadically update the Facebook, which is also the Crow Show or at the Real Crow Show.
Mm-hmm.
I share these videos onto my channel, and then I also post gaming videos and live stream when my internet lets me over at I'm the Zodiac on the YouTubes.
Yep.
That's all I got.
All right, Infamous.
I don't have much to say. I mean, you can find me at Infamous PC on YouTube, but I don't post the videos. So
Okay, cool. So, all right, so, yep, as you're watching this on my channel, VeracityTrigger, on YouTube, and also on Minds.com, we have a channel there. So I try to repost it there. I kind of forgot last week, but this week I'll get this one up and try to have it open for some live talks, so all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's really all I got to say. So hopefully if you enjoyed, hit the like button. That'd be great. And subscribe for more. That'd be cool. So, all right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.